What's up, guys? It's Friday, and so you know what time it is. Time for WTF, What the Fitness. And this week, we have a return guest. I feel like every week's a return guest now. The bin Azadi, who, again, I remember like 4 years ago when this guy had like 10,000 followers, 112,000 followers, proving that you can say really, really crazy things, and if you just say it loud enough, long enough, you will accumulate a following of brainless morons. I'm just kidding. Really, really smart people fall for really, really dumb stuff all the time. So I'm not saying you're brainless, but when it comes to nutrition, your brain appears to have left your skull. So let's see what he has to say this week.
If you want to age faster than anybody you know, eat every 2 to 3 hours, you'll definitely do that. If we look back at when we were babies, if your kids were breastfed, they were actually in a state of ketosis. We're born into ketosis because breast milk has saturated fat, it has cholesterol. So burning fat is our birth, right? But then what happens is, like for myself, I was weaned off of the breast milk and then I was fed snacks and high sugary formulas every 2 to 3 hours. And then I taught my body to be a sugar burner. So the goal with keto is to teach your body to go back to its natural fat burning state. So you don't have to rely on eating every 2 to 3 hours and snacking and raising glucose, even if it's the healthiest snack, because you're raising glucose and insulin, you're teaching your body to be in a fed state, and your body has to process that.
If you want to age faster than anyone you know, eat every 2 to 3 hours. Babies are born in a state of ketosis, yes. And then when they start drinking breast milk, they're no longer in ketosis because breast milk has sugar in it, Ben. At least just, I know research really isn't your thing, but at least just like do something. And let's say breast milk was ketogenic. Okay, Ben, if we were meant to be in this constant state of ketosis, then why does it take so much in avoiding certain foods to get us into ketosis?
And why does it take 18 hours? And why, if you're given both options, ketones, glucose, the brain chooses glucose? And why do we have an obligate glucose use of at least 120
grams of glucose per day? And it's so important that we have it that the body can produce it with absolutely zero glucose intake through the liver. So if glucose was so toxic, why would our body use it at all, Ben? He's doing what's called a really silly reductionist argument, which is, well, we're born in this state, so that means we need to be in that state. You're also born with only a partially formed digestive tract. You shit on yourself, you piss on yourself, you scream whenever you need anything. So maybe since that's our natural state, I should just walk around shitting myself, peeing wherever I want, and just screaming whenever I want something. Joke's on you, actually I do that. As far as the idea that eating every 2 to 3 hours shortens your lifespan, what evidence, Ben? Cite one study. You can't. Because it doesn't exist. Nothing. And as we know, that which can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Thank you, Christopher Hitchens. This is the same guy that said egg whites make you fat. Did a debunk video on it 4 years ago. That alone should be more than sufficient to just take anything that this guy says in the future and just say, we're going to take that and set it in the crazy box, and we're not going to mess with that. All right, guys, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you don't shit yourself this week.